Hi, welcome back. Today we're talking about something we all want to do but sometimes struggle with: saving money. The average American saves less than 5% of their income, and about 56% of us don't have enough saved to cover a $1,000 emergency. But here's the good news. You don't need complicated investment strategies or a six-figure salary to build your savings. Small, daily habits can add up to thousands of dollars saved each year. In this video, I'll share 10 super simple ways to save money every single day. These aren't about completely changing your lifestyle or never having fun. They're realistic, practical tips that anyone can follow, whether you're a student, working professional, or planning for retirement. Ready to put more money in your pocket? Let's dive in. Tip number 1, track your spending. One of the most powerful things you can do with your money takes almost no money at all. Just track where it goes. Studies show that people who regularly track their spending save an average of 20% more than those who don't. Why? Because we're often shocked by what we discover. That $4 coffee 5 times a week, that's over $1,000 a year. Those random Amazon purchases that seem small at the time, they might add up to hundreds of dollars each month. You don't need fancy software for this. A simple notebook works great, or try a free app like Mint or the budget feature in your banking app. Just spend 5 minutes each day logging your purchases. The challenge here is consistency. It's easy to track for a few days, then forget about it. My solution? Set a daily reminder on your phone for the same time each evening. After about 3 weeks, it becomes a habit you won't even think about. When I first tried this, I discovered I was spending nearly $200 a month on subscription services I barely used, which leads perfectly into our next tip. Tip number 2, audit your subscriptions. The subscription economy has exploded. Streaming services, meal kits, fitness apps, monthly boxes of everything from socks to snacks. The average household now spends $273 monthly on subscriptions, and here's the kicker. Most people underestimate this number by about $130. Take 30 minutes today to list every subscription you pay for. Check your credit card and bank statements for the past 3 months. Then ask yourself 3 questions about each one. Do I use this regularly? Does it bring me real value? Is there a free or cheaper alternative? Be ruthless. Even saving $30 a month by cutting a few unused subscriptions puts $360 back in your pocket each year. The challenge is that companies make canceling difficult on purpose. The solution? Schedule a subscription audit day once every 3 months. Mark it on your calendar and commit to reviewing and canceling what you don't need. And here's a bonus tip. For subscriptions you want to keep, call the company and ask for a discount. You'd be surprised how often simply asking nicely works. Tip number 3, embrace the 24-hour rule. We've all been there. You see something cool online and before you know it, you've clicked buy now. Studies show that 40% of online purchases are impulse buys, and the average person spends about $314 per month on impulse purchases. That's over $3,700 a year. Here's a simple fix, the 24-hour rule. When you see something you want to buy that isn't a necessity, wait 24 hours before purchasing. Add it to your cart, then close the tab. Set a reminder to revisit it tomorrow. After a day, you'll often find that the initial excitement has worn off, and you realize you don't need it after all. Research shows this simple pause reduces impulse purchases by up to 50%. The challenge is that online retailers are designed to create urgency, limited time offers, countdown timers, only 2 left in stock messages. The solution? Remind yourself that there will always be another sale, another deal, another chance to buy. Take a screenshot of the item and price if you're worried about missing out. I once had my eye on a $200 gadget that seemed absolutely essential. After waiting 24 hours, I realized I already owned something that did basically the same thing. That's $200 saved with 0 effort. Tip number 4, meal planning and prep. The average household throws away about 32% of the food they buy, which means for every $100 you spend at the grocery store, you're essentially tossing $32 in the trash. Meanwhile, the typical American spends over $3,000 annually on restaurant meals and takeout. Meal planning attacks both these problems at once. Take 20 minutes each weekend to plan your meals for the week ahead. Make a shopping list based on those meals and stick to it at the store. Then spend a couple of hours prepping basics. Chop vegetables, cook some proteins, prepare simple sauces. Having ready-to-assemble meals makes you far less likely to order expensive takeout on busy weeknights. Studies show that households that meal plan save between $1,200 and $2,400 per year. Plus, home-cooked food is typically healthier than restaurant meals, so your body benefits too. The challenge is finding time and motivation to plan and prep. The solution? Start small. Plan just 3 to 4 dinners per week, not everything. Use a template or app to make planning faster. And make prep time more enjoyable by listening to your favorite podcast or music. Remember, a $25 takeout meal for 2 people, twice a week, adds up to $2,600 per year. Cut that in half by cooking more at home, and you've saved $1,300. Tip number 5. Master the art of price comparison. Did you know that the price of identical products can vary by as much as 50% between different stores? Or that prices on Amazon can fluctuate multiple times in a single day? Price comparison doesn't mean driving to 5 different stores. These days, it's as simple as installing a browser extension, like Honey or Camel that automatically checks for better prices and applies coupon codes. For bigger purchases, the savings can be substantial. A quick 10-minute search for the best price on a new laptop or appliance might save you $50 to $200. That's a pretty good return on your time investment. The challenge is that comparing prices can become time-consuming if you do it for everything. The solution? Focus your efforts on purchases over a certain amount, say $50 or $100. For smaller items, it's often not worth the time. Also, beware of the trap of buying something just because it's on sale. A great deal on something you don't need is still money wasted. Tip number 6. Optimize your bills. Many of our monthly bills operate on autopilot. We set them up once and then forget about them. But taking just a few hours each year to review and optimize them can save hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Start with insurance, car, home, renters, health. Studies show that comparing insurance rates just once a year saves the average household $800. Call your current provider and ask for discounts, then get quotes from competitors. Next, look at your phone plan. Are you paying for more data than you use? Could you switch to a cheaper carrier? The average person can save $15 to $40 per month by right-sizing their plan. Don't forget utilities. Simple changes like adjusting your thermostat by just 2 to 3 degrees can reduce your energy bill by 10%. Using LED bulbs cuts lighting costs by 75%. The challenge is that calling companies and negotiating takes time and can be uncomfortable. The solution? Use a service like Trim or BillShark that negotiates on your behalf, or set aside one money day every 6 months dedicated to optimizing your bills. Remember, saving $50 per month across all your bills adds up to $600 per year. Tip number 7. Embrace the sharing economy. Why buy something you'll only use occasionally when you could borrow, rent, or share it instead? The average power drill is used for just 12 to 15 minutes over its entire lifetime, yet many households own one. Consider borrowing tools from neighbors or friends, or check if your community has a tool library. For books, use your local library instead of buying. The average household spends $118 per year on books, most of which are read just once. Libraries now offer not just physical books, but ebooks, audiobooks, movies, and even museum passes, all for free. The challenge is convenience. It's easier to just buy something than coordinate borrowing it. The solution? Start small with a few categories like tools or party supplies. Join local Buy Nothing groups on Facebook where neighbors share items freely. This approach isn't just good for your wallet, it's better for the environment too. Tip number 8. Master the coffee habit. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, daily coffee purchases. A store-bought coffee costs around $4 to $5, while making it at home costs about 25 to 50 cents per cup. Buying coffee every workday adds up to over $1,000 annually. I'm not saying give up your coffee. I certainly wouldn't give up mine. But investing in good home brewing equipment and learning to make your favorite drinks can save substantial money over time. Even cutting store-bought coffee to just twice a week instead of daily saves you about $700 per year. That's enough for a weekend getaway. The challenge is the convenience and ritual of buying coffee. The solution? Create a pleasant home brewing station and morning ritual. Invest in a travel mug you love. And when you do buy coffee out, make it intentional, a treat rather than a daily default. If you're a serious coffee enthusiast, consider a higher-end home espresso machine. While the upfront cost is high, $200 to $500, it pays for itself within a year if you're a daily latte drinker. Tip number 9, use the cash envelope system. Despite all our digital innovations, good old-fashioned cash still has magical properties when it comes to helping us spend less. Studies show people spend 12 to 18% more when using credit cards versus cash. The cash envelope system is simple. At the start of each month, withdraw cash for variable expense categories like groceries, dining out, entertainment, and personal spending. Put the cash for each category in a labeled envelope. When an envelope is empty, you're done spending in that category until next month. This system creates a physical limit on spending and makes the abstract concept of budgeting tangible. You literally see your money disappearing. The challenge is that using cash isn't always convenient in our digital world. The solution? Use cash for your problem spending areas only, the categories where you tend to overspend. Keep using cards for fixed expenses and online purchases. Many people who try this system report saving $200 to $400 per month without feeling deprived. Tip number 10, automate your savings. Our final tip might be the most powerful of all. Make saving automatic. Most people try to save whatever is left at the end of the month, but usually nothing is left. Instead, reverse this by saving first. Set up automatic transfers to a separate savings account on payday. Start with just 5% of your income if you're new to saving. Studies show that automated savings increase the average person's savings rate by 150%. The beauty of automation is that it removes willpower from the equation. You don't have to decide to save each month. It just happens. The challenge is that it might feel tight at first to live on less. The solution? Start small and increase gradually. Each time you get a raise, increase your automatic savings by half the raise amount. Remember the saying, pay yourself first. Your future self will thank you. So there you have it, 10 simple ways to save money every day. If you implemented just half of these tips, you could easily save $3,000 to $5,000 per year. And the best part? None of these require major lifestyle sacrifices. Remember, saving money isn't about depriving yourself. It's about being intentional with your spending, so you can afford the things that truly matter to you. Which of these tips are you going to try first? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have other simple money-saving methods, share those too. I'd love to hear them. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more practical financial advice. The road to financial freedom is taken one step at a time, and today, you've learned 10 steps you can start taking right away. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.